Now, your Bountiful landscapes.
Hi, my name's Yasmin, and we're here at the Secret Garden in Elk Grove to make a beautiful driftwood succulent arrangement. I've already started by adding some cactus and succulent soil to this low ceramic container. The reason succulent soil is important, there's a few reasons. Number one, it's well draining. You can see here that this is kind of a chunky soil blend. There's some pumice and perlite. This is our favorite succulent soil to use. It's actually a Sacramento local company, and they already add in worm castings. There's a lot of really good organic material in here to make this a really nutrient-rich soil. So we are already ready to go with that. To make this interesting, I'm gonna place this really beautiful piece of driftwood. This is actually grapewood from grapevines, and we're gonna use that kind of to create a natural look and then place our succulents around. No rules really when you're making succulent arrangements, other than we wanna make sure, again, that we're choosing plants that like the same things. So all of these succulents would prefer morning sun and afternoon shade. Not all succulents want to sit and bake in full Sacramento sun all day. So all the ones I chose like a little bit of protection from the afternoon sun. And when I make arrangements, I'm really trying to pack in the color. So I'm going for contrasting colors. Like I love the way this lime green plays against the purple. I really want different textures and shapes. I love the ripply edges and some of the more delicate sedums. We also want to choose things that, these are both low ground cover style succulents, and then we chose some that have some height and will continue to get taller as they grow. But really, you kind of just do what you like. And the good thing about it is you can play with the placement, and if you don't like it, you can just switch things around. So for me, this is gonna be the front of the container, so I'm probably gonna place my lower growing things here and add my height towards the back. This is an Echeveria Neon Breakers, and it's probably one of my favorites because of the way that neon purple catches the light. And so I'm gonna let that probably kind of be the star of the show up at the front. And succulents don't mind being planted close together. They kind of like it. I think this bright green sedum that's gonna act like a ground cover, it's never gonna get tall. I think that's gonna be really pretty in the front. And the cool thing about these is you can divide them and plant two clumps in different places. And that's a great way to save money on plants, is to just divide what you have and let it fill in a little bit over time. And I'm getting right next to right up against the grapewood because I want it to kind of spill over and look natural. I'm just taking a little bit of the soil off and loosening up the roots a little bit before I plant this. And then you always want to plant at the same level it was originally, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't want to plant this and bury the leaves, nor would I want to plant it and have half of the root ball out of the soil. So we're going to bring it right down to the soil and then make sure that the soil line is level with where it was before. And then I love the little individual little rosettes on this one. So I think I'm gonna plop that one right here. Okay, so the plantings are done. Now we get to do the decorative part, which really finishes off the arrangement. And I chose just a really pretty jade pebble, partially because I wanted to contrast the natural colors like the warm tones of the container. And I love the way that this highlights the colors in the plants. The rock does a couple things. Number one, it helps with soil erosion. If you're gonna water this with the hose, the rock helps keep the soil in place. It also helps with weeds. It helps if it's a hot summer type weather, it helps keep a little bit more moisture in the soil. Plus it just makes the arrangements look much more finished. This looks good. Now you could do something fun and whimsical, and maybe you wanna add in, because we're kind of going with like a natural theme, I have these fun little wooden carved mushrooms, which might be cute in here. If we wanted to do a pop of color, I have these cute little yellow ones we could add in. So if we took the wooden ones out and then maybe popped in these cute little yellow ones. When it comes to watering this, the thing you want to keep in mind is to only water when the soil is dry. And that means different things at different times of the year. In the winter months, that could mean you barely need to water this if we're getting a lot of rain. In the summer, you may need to water once a week, but the best thing to do is to test the soil with your finger and make sure that the soil is dry before you add any additional water. And that's it. We have a beautiful succulent container. This is gonna fill in really nicely. The sedums and the ground covers will start to fill in all these empty spaces. These echeveria are gonna start to get quite large, and we'll be able to enjoy this forever.